hydrangeas are so beautiful, and this is what is left of them. And now at this time, they're starting to change color into that nice purpley color. It's definitely telling me that fall is right around the corner. This particular one is called Bridal Bouquet, and it was propagated from me. I propagated this hydrangea. Hello there, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. The garden has been going through a great transformation, and we can see all of the different flowers and things that are just growing here. A lot of the annuals are doing very well, especially the impatiens. I am so pleased with how the impatiens have really held up, even in spite of the lack of rain, and they have really decided that they're going to just blossom and be beautiful here in my garden. I always love to come out in the garden, and when I turn this corner, I'm always excited to see what is growing and what has changed in the garden. I am happy to see that the grass is green and looking lush, because we have been in a dry spell, but now it has rained the last couple of days, and the ground is still moist with the water from above. There's nothing like rainwater to cause things to come alive and to burst out in its fullness. Now here is my other hydrangea, and this is Bridal Bouquet. Because of the intenseness of the heat and the pressure that it was experiencing, some of the flower are kind of withered, but yet still we have a wonderful flush of beauty that we can see now for the fall. And soon this flower is going to take on a really beautiful purpley maroony color. I would say a deep burgundy sort of color. But in the meantime, I like this transition. And it lets me know that the garden is transitioning as well. So let us turn the corner and see what has happened to the garden on this side. As I walk up this path, I am so thankful that my fig tree has returned, and it's really sprawling here. It's more like a shrub than a tree. You could see I did not remove the stems or the branches from before, and it was really tree-like in formation and growing very tall. But through the cold, I don't know what happened, but it stopped it from really coming back the way that it was before. But I am so pleased to see that I have fruit now on these new branches, and that these branches are thick and growing tall. So there's like 1, main branch, and then we have this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 branches coming up from the base, and I'm thankful. Now, I don't think those figs are going to mature in time so that we can eat them, but it's promising for next year. I have to say that I really have not done a lot of work to my kitchen garden area other than harvest the different vegetables. My kale has done fantastic, and I'm starting to gather the kale, well, eat the kale, gather the kale, and I'm putting it in the refrigerator, bagging them up and so that we can have them for the winter, have some fresh greens. And right now the eggplant is growing. You can see the little eggplants here. Yeah, they're coming in, and as soon I'll be able to harvest the eggplant. What I am so amazed about is that the beautiful, beautiful squash are just trailing here, and that I'm going to have pumpkin and patty pan squash and other squashes, winter squash here on the vine. If you can see here, that's the patty pan, and those seeds were from last year. And then we have the pumpkins that are growing up, and look at that right in there. That's the winter squash. So all through this here, this section, the squash is just trailing through. And I'm anticipating a lot of food. And that's really my goal. That's why I'm allowing them to travel around and do their own thing, so that I can have food for the winter, that I can harvest the food and store it away for the winter. Now, I really love my verbena, and I have a strong suspicion that this verbena is going to perennialize, in a sense, that it will self-seed and it will be here. At least that's what I'm hoping for, and come back next year. It is such a beautiful plant, and I just love how it looks in the garden, especially with my yellow golden flowers that I have there, and with the purple perilla. Now, this is snapdragon, and I had planted this, or seeded this snapdragon through the bottle method and planted it in here, and it has finally flowered. I think this is the second time flowering. It looks very good. It's very pretty. I didn't realize how beautiful snapdragons are. It's really my first time growing them. I definitely will plant them again. As I continue up on this pathway to the upper garden, I am just amazed at the beautiful, beautiful look and leaves of the squashes. I just love it. And then to see all of these bees on this beautiful yellow planting. And then we see the different flowers here. Now this white bloom is a part of the morning glory family, but it's the wicked one. It's called vine root, vine leaf. It just binds around and smothers things. But it's beautiful in the morning. It opens up, glory, very beautiful, very pure, and so I can't even get totally mad with it because it just is very pretty in the morning, and it looks so good with the flowers of the squashes, which I found out are edible. But I just love this. Look at this. We're going to have a lot of patty pan here. I love the squash flower. Now that I know that they're edible, maybe later on I will eat some of it. But you can see the bees in there with the pollen. And what they do is they find the male flower, and then they go into the female flower and cause pollination, the fruiting. So as I said, I have pumpkins as well as patty pan. The white pumpkin is the porcelain pumpkin seeds that I got from, I think they're Johnny seeds. My corn is there, it's dried up. And I have not had the chance to really get in there and get it because I don't want to step on the vines here. So what I'm going to do is save those corn seeds and plant again because I know that they'll do well in this area. We are experiencing a little bit of powdery mildew, but that's okay because the season is almost over, so I'm not worried about it. As we come up, we're also greeted by this beautiful patch of cosmos, and they have been blooming steadily for the whole season, and just giving me beautiful blooms. The bees are loving it, and definitely my garden has become a pollinator's garden. I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled with this rose. This rose is mother of pearl rose, and it is absolutely beautiful. I just love the second flush, or third flush of it coming up, and just with all of the different leaves and things of the squash, the flowers of the cosmos, my beautiful caladiums now forming, the coleus, the beautiful color of the impatiens. It's just beautiful here. I just love this right here. That is definitely the garden. In its prime at this time on Sunday. Absolutely gorgeous. I am so satisfied how these caladiums are showing up now when we really need the color. I love it at the base here, and I think that's a great idea to just really place the caladiums at the bottom here of this bed and just let them come out and add that color. And the verbena has really been fantastic here. I planted some of the verbena here, and it is showing up. And I have the beautiful red brick rose that is being a little smothered, but it's been flowering steadily throughout. But I really am in love with this rose. This rose I got at Lowe's, and it's called Mother Pearl, and it's part of the bloomable roses. I recommend it highly to every and anyone. It is disease resistant. It is beautiful. They're full, they're flush. It's a floribunda, a grandiflora. Just a beautiful, beautiful rose. And it fills the whole space here. I have two of them. And it's working. It works really well in the border here with the cosmos. And also I have here some zinnias that I planted that is just fitting in nicely with this whole arrangement. Just intermingling. So nice. Here in this side, this hedge, I cut back the hedge very severely. My husband and I worked on it earlier, and look at how it's grown back. It just has come back, and so we're going to have to cut it back thickly. But in the meantime, I'm kind of glad that it's here. It really adds a good backdrop for all of these flowers here, and it looks really, really nice. You can see that the squash is just trailing through this bed. It just is helping itself. And we're going to have a lot of wonderful, wonderful food from these squash, from this bed. I'm very thankful. Now the spirea, I cut it back, and look at the beautiful leaves of the spirea, the new growth. Very nice. And then here, this is a limelight, little limelight, and it looks very nice here. I know it will get bigger, larger, and it will definitely take up this space, which is going to be beautiful next year as it continues to grow. And then this is sedum, autumn joy here, tucked in. And then this here is that yellow plant. It's actually this that I had planted up here as well. And I can see it blooming soon and looking really pretty with these zinnias. These are the zinnias that I had planted from seed. I saved the seeds and I transplanted them here in the front. They're looking really, really good. And then here in these pots are my strawberry plants, and they're just spreading. I have the caladium. Back there is my oak leaf hydrangea. They've already turned a rustic color, the blooms, but it looks so good with the purple perilla, that color, and with the yellow of this flower. And I have some more of the caladiums here in the pot, and also lavender that I put in pots too, that are doing well. The lavender. Here I have the canna. They have bloomed and are setting seed. This area is looking a little wild, but it's still pretty. I am happy with how the marigolds have come up and are filling this container, and we shall see how it ends up. And then I have here the canna, the other canna, and it bloomed. Now it's starting to seed. I think I'm going to save the seeds and try that out. There's some people, friends of mine, who've told me that they have started their canna from seed, and it has been successful. So I think I'm going to try that. I love how this coleus has come up and spreading here in this corner. I have here a rose bush, which is so pretty. It is Pinkabell and has been blooming off and on throughout the season. It has some fresh buds here, and it's a new rose that I've added to the garden. I love the color of the rose with the coleus. I just love this corner. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. And it's turned out really, really nice with these zinnias that we purchased. And they're small growing, but they just look so dainty there. I like that. Also, the marigolds, the French marigolds, are doing well. My verbena is just so pretty with the cleome that I planted from seed. And then I have some zinnias here as well that are so pretty. This is very full. This border hedge is very full, and it is kind of deep, but yet the flowers just fill it up. The garden just fills up this space. And I have allowed the squash to trail. I'm trying to keep them away from my my beautiful hibiscus. And they've been blooming off and on. You can see the blooms there. It's been very nice. Now tucked in here is a pot, and this is my sweet alyssum. I seeded it in this pot with the sedum. The sedum is now turning color. You can see the pot, kind of. And the sweet alyssum and the sedum. My geraniums here are doing well. And when you look down the path, everything is just looking really nice. What I do like about this border is that in June it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And I have been thinking of the succession of blooms here for this side of the garden. And so this rose bush, Pinkabell Bell, will be big and beautiful like my mother of pearl rose. Then I have a new rose here, which is Moonlight, from the same bloomables, and it has been budding up and flowering. I just planted it in, and it looks so happy here. So we'll have pink, then we'll have the yellow, or that nice creamy yellow, and then down here I have another Pinkabell, which has been blooming off and on too. And this pink is different from the other rose. This is more of a peachy color rose. And this one is more of a pink, a true pinky rose. Now, I wanted to show you this. Look at this. This is my miniature rose bush that I had bought earlier in the year. And I put it out and it's flowering. Isn't that pretty? It's a miniature rose. And I have to actually come and weed this out and give it some space so that you can see it. But it is definitely beautiful. I love that rose. I'm thinking that if I can get a rose like that in a larger version, it'd be nice with that the two colored white and that deep red. That would be fantastic. Well, here I am in the garden, and it is the last Sunday in August. And earlier today, I walked through the garden and was able to just admire the different changes that are happening in my garden. I really love the way that the squash and the winter squash are just trailing through the garden beds, and just the patty pan. It makes me so excited to see all of this beautiful, beautiful fruit growing in the garden. And I know that that's going to be food for the winter months, that I'm going to be able to make my different sauteed dishes and my different pumpkin pies and all of the other good things that the squash plants provide. So I'm excited about this day. I'm excited about this time and this season, the fall season that is coming before us. It is just wonderful to see fall and to know that soon we are going to be making those dishes that are so soothing to the soul. Yeah, and I'm gonna have the vegetables to be able to do it. That is a great thing. Well, if you like this video and you like seeing how my garden is developing over this season, this 2022 season, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell for more videos. And then come and join me on Wednesdays during our Wednesday lives, where we share and talk and chat. And then also visit me over at my website. That's Catherine's Garden Home LWS at Weebly, that's WEEBLY.com, where we share photos and we learn about what's happening in the garden. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Bye. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.